As a Black woman filmmaker, the questions that I'm asked are about race, or about being a woman, or about being everything but the filmmaker part. And so when I see, interviews with my counterparts who are not Black and are not women, they have lots of questions about craft and about producing. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Ava DuVernay at the Venice Film Festival. She was there to premiere her brand new movie, Origin. Right, the irony about this moment for Ava is not lost on me, because she's there talking about the fact that as a Black female producer director, it's so nice to actually be asked about the craft rather than just about, hey, you're a Black woman, you're a woman, how does this feel? But I can't not say this. She's the first Black woman in 80 years to have a film showing in competition at Venice Film Festival, which is just shocking. I'm Max. This is Flip Your Wig. I'm feeling really passionate today. Let me know what you think about that. The first Black woman in 80 years to be showing her film at Venice Film Festival. That just blows my mind completely.
We shot this film in 37 days, and that is a remarkable amount of time in the fact that the remark one would make is how. And for me, the way that got done was my collaboration with Paul Garnes and Matt Lloyd. Matthew Lloyd is a shooter. He's gonna put it on his shoulder. He's gonna run out into the street and he's gonna say, ma'am, which way do you want? This. He's a run and gun shooter while crafting gorgeous images, and is a real technician and an artist in terms of the frames, but also you needed a collaborator who was unafraid to move quickly, to be flexible, to find inspiration and run with it. And so thank you, Matt. Couldn't have made it in 37 days without you.
Likewise, ma'am. It's a rarity to have that kind of experience with the director where you are just, you're totally in sync on what is happening and where it's going at any time. So thank you.
Yeah, it was a good time. And then Paul Garnes, very rare for two Black filmmakers, the two of us as a producing team, to make a film that leaves the country. So for Black filmmakers, we're told that people who love films in other parts of the world don't care about our stories and don't care about our films. This is something that we are often told. You cannot play international film festivals. No one will come. People will not come to your press conference. People will not come to the P&I screenings. There will not be interest in selling tickets. You may not even get into this festival. Don't apply. I can't tell you how many times I've been told, don't apply to Venice, you won't get in. It won't happen. And this year it happened. Thank you. This year it happened. Something happened that hadn't happened in 8 decades before, an African-American woman in competition. And so we know that is, thank you. We know that while that's a door open, that I trust and hope the festival will keep open, that it acknowledges an absence for 80 years, that we're, as intelligent people, we should be able to say, this happened, and now what's next? So thank you for that. But the only way to be able to combat those ideas of you can't do this, they're not interested in you, is to go out and do it. And so the only way that I could make that film in 37 days is to have Paul Garnes by my side, because he's an indie producer, gritty roots. You can never tell him no. He's going to figure it out. If we're standing in the middle of a street in Delhi and the generator goes down and someone might have COVID and we lost the location and Ava wants to get 2 new shots that weren't on the shot list, he will say, okay, let's figure it out. Tell us about that.
Luckily, the only thing that happened like that was that Ava added 2 new shots, so I only had to say yes to that. So it was it was certainly a very exciting process. Ava and I had done independent movies on a much smaller scale in the past, and I honestly, it was so enjoyable to find that again and to do it with a story this big, with a global implication. It was one of the greatest adventures of our lives, I think.
Yeah. The producer-director also spoke about this idea of, if this film, Origin, had been picked up by a big studio, there would have been questions around the actors. Are they big enough? Are they Hollywood enough? And probably the race question would have also been thrown in there as well. But thankfully, it's been picked up by an independent Neon, which means her cast is going to be embraced and supported, and they are all brilliant.
I don't feel like we would have had the cast that we had if it had remained in the studio system. The studio system is a place where I've worked and made projects that I'm proud of, but there is really an aspect of control over who plays what. And there is an idea about who makes money, who attracts attention, and sometimes that sits at odds with who might be the best person for the part. Ingenue Ellis-Taylor was the best person for this part. I believe that she's an actor of outsized power. She is a force of nature. She walks onto the set and everyone just gets quiet. It's not because she's demanding it, it's because it's respect. Because she walks on and she's so deeply in the character. I'd worked with her once before and had wanted to do it again. She actually pursued the part. I thought that she was not available, and she actually thought that I didn't want her. And so once we got on the same page, it became a very beautiful exchange of ideas and expression, and she dropped into the character, and it was quite a dynamic experience to work with her each day.
Origin is the story of writer Isabel Wilkerson and her research into systemic injustice and this idea of caste.
Everything in the film that is about her life is not in the book. So all of the stories that we see in the film, she told me. She's an incredible storyteller. So we talked for about a year, about a dozen or so meetings that were hours long, and she was very generous. She shared with me that the seed of the idea for the book began with the murder of Trayvon Martin. So, and I am very affected by the murder of Trayvon Martin, and so that became a touch point for us, a point of commonality, to be so emotionally connected to his death that it was my choice and my honor to open the film on his face and to close the film on his face. And I think the film has so many images that I love and I hold dear, but Trayvon Martin's face, as played by Miles Frost, might be the one that breaks my heart the most.
The film is powerful, it's touching, it's fascinating, and it will leave you feeling both compassionate and knowledgeable, reminding you to look deeper and not accept whatever is presented to you as historical facts.
But this cast is populated with actors who are not quote-unquote superstars to Hollywood. It's populated with meat and potatoes, blood, sweat, and tears working actors who are very respected. The whole cast is filled with them. And together you see how they shine like stars. And so I think it gets into this idea of, the value that we place on certain artists based on what corporations say. Who is more valuable and who's not. And thank goodness we made this film independently and we were able to handpick everyone.
Playing Isabel is Ingenue Ellis-Taylor. I think she is so brilliant to watch on screen. She was recently in King Richard, Lovecraft Country, definitely someone to keep an eye on. She's worked with Ava before, also in The Powerful, When They See Us.
I felt so much joy through the whole making of it. I mean, literally, even if we were tackling challenging scenes, we were making it with our friends and our comrades, and we knew we were making it towards a certain goal. But overall, we were able to capture scenes of joy in her romance. When Isabel Wilkerson, the real woman, talks to me about her relationship with her husband, I get chills, I get goosebumps, because they were so in love, and she still loves him, and I believe he still loves her in a way that leads her and guides her through her life. That their love story was something I just wanted to honor in this, and Ingenue Ellis-Taylor and John Bernthal become that couple in a beautiful way.
Let me know your thoughts about Venice Film Festival and this idea of international film festivals not perhaps embracing like diverse filmmakers and stories from people from all over the world. Do you think that's true? Or do you think, no, I don't agree? Or maybe you think things have changed, thankfully. I mean, it's taken 80 years for Venice to change, which again, I can't get over. But let me know in the comment section, because I really love to know what you lot think. Don't forget, while you are also on the channel, there's loads of content from Venice Film Festival, including one of my favourite directors, Wes Anderson, on his brand new movie. Plus David Fincher talking about that thriller that's coming to Netflix very very soon. And Sofia Coppola talking about making this story with Priscilla Presley and the darker side of Elvis. Are you ready for that? Let me know in the comment section. Enjoy, make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on, and I shall be back soon with more videos. Bye.
I believe that that creativity in art mirrors justice. That when you are an artist, you are charged with creating a world that doesn't exist. You are envisioning something, and you are making new worlds in books, in films, in sculpture, in painting, in music. Justice requires the same thing. You have to envision a world that doesn't exist, and you have to do what it takes to make it so.